This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. I'm delighted to be joined by many people's Fighter of the Year last year, multi-world champion in Natasha Jonas. Natasha, talk to me how you're feeling. You must be on cloud nine at the minute.
Yeah, I've had a good break in over Christmas. Went away, went and watched Paul, had a little break with my little girl, and I'm refreshed and ready to go and back in the gym. Them first few weeks let you realise how long, make you realise how unhealthy you are, how unfit you are, how much weight you put on. But I'm glad to be back, and I'm looking forward to a big 2023, to be honest.
Now, last year for you, Last year for you, you really sort of got the most out of your talent, and more importantly, you got the opportunities. 3 world titles. You achieved a hell of a lot last year. This year, bigger and better things. I hear your name bandied about with the likes of Claressa Shields, who's been on against Savannah Marshall. I mean, what a fight to make. Saw the radio, Ben were on saying you're the money fight. Is that a fight now on your sort of hit list, the thing you want to do next?
Yeah, listen, I don't hide from anyone. I want to fight the best. I've always said that. I've always said an active Natasha's a dangerous one, and I've got nothing to lose. And I'm going in there with full confidence that I can win. It's up to Ben and Joe and Mark Tappert, I think it is, to sort it out, and that's the fight we want. I definitely know it's the fight she wants. So there's nothing promotionally wise or the little business bits sometimes that can let fights down. There's none of that either, so I think it's the easiest fight to make, if I'm honest.
I was going to say, in terms of promotion, she's already come on a boxing show before, come to the UK. That fight was huge in the UK, so she's already as well got a bit of a fan base over here as well, because America, it's a tough nut to crack. So how likely is it you think we will get to see that this year? Because there's talks of a rematch with her and Sav, but people want to see you in there with her, and it'll be a mega fight, not just for women's boxing, but for boxing.
Yeah, I think there's, like you say, I think women's boxing on a whole is bigger in the UK. That's why, the likes of even Michaela Meyer and Baumgartner wanted it to be here, because the platform and the fans that we've got is a little bit bigger. Like you say, it's hard. It's a hard thing to break down the American market, especially when you're new to it. So yeah, like I say, it's an easy fight to make. It's a fight we both fighters want, and women's boxing and women fighters, we want them fights. It's not like the men's where there's lots of politics. Just let's get it done, and we want it done.
Now you two have had I wouldn't say you've had a rivalry as such, but you've had a bit of back and forth over Twitter every now and again, quite comical really. I think you said something like Sav woke up and chose violence or something at once, and you both went back and forth. How does a fight play out between you and Claressa?
Listen, after that performance against Sav, it's a tough fight, and every fight at this level is going to be tough.
Yeah,
between her and Katie's pound for pound, it's arguments who's your number one. So I know it's going to be a tough fight, and I'll prepare myself for it like I do with every single fight. But the one thing I will say about me, every time the level gets higher and gets better, so do I. So we'll prepare for the best version of Claressa, and we're seeing the best version against Sav, and I know I have to be just as good and better.
Oh, but I hope we see that fight this year. Listen, get your pundit head on now and talk to me about Liam Smith, Chris Eubank Jr. We saw tensions sort of boil over yesterday. It got very personal. In your opinion, did it go too far yesterday?
I was a fan looking in, probably, but as a boxer and making weight, and I'm not making excuses for anybody, but you're on them last bits of weight. You're hangry. You just want the fight to be done. You've done a million interviews asking the same questions, doing the same things, and it gets a little bit tedious. And I think, it is just one of them things. And I think sometimes, we sensationalise things as something blew out of proportion than what it actually was. And there's a little bit of a mix of everything here. I think, there's a mix of them being frustrated, annoyed, and just wanting the fight to be done. There's a mix of, media asking the same things over and over again, which gets boring. And then, the back and forth, which is kind of, you're selling a fight, which is, maybe it did go a little bit too far, but that kind of thing happens when you sell fights,
100%. Talk to me specifically about the fight now. You know Liam, obviously everyone knows Chris as well. How do you see the fight actually playing out? What do you think happens?
listen, there's no, I'm not hiding the fact that I'm not going to be biased, but I know I want Liam to win. How he does it depends on Chris. I think the first couple of rounds will be definitely a bit dangerous for Liam. People say he starts slow. It isn't that he starts slow. He likes to try and work people out, but sometimes he can be guilty of waiting too long to impose himself and impose his strengths. So Chris is either going to come out flying and try and capitalise on that, or he's going to know that Liam comes on strong in the latter rounds, and he's going to try and save himself, which makes the first few rounds more important for both fighters than not the rest of the fight, but it does, because whoever wins them first few rounds and gets that edge, if that's Liam, then you can run off with it by the end of it. But if it's Chris, Liam knows that he's got the pressures on him, so then he has to win. He can't not win them middle to late rounds. So but I do think Liam is criminally underestimated for how much of a boxing brain and how smart and how clever he actually is.
Sorry to sort of half cut you off there, but I really agree with that point. I mean, Chris comes into this as a betting favourite, like quite heavily on some sites. I think Liam to go the distance and win with like 3-4 to 1, and for a former world champion, I found that a bit. I know he's moving up in weight, but he probably needed to move up in weight. He's been down at 154 for years now. 160 for him. He probably feels more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone up in weight, so sometimes
you go like whatever you want.
So sometimes it's just a little bit weight that you don't have to get off, which makes all the difference. For someone who Liam, he grows when he gets in the ring. So it's just weight that he doesn't have to get off, and I think we might see the best of Liam.
Well, I think it's going to be an absolute barn burner on Saturday night. Look, Natasha, thanks for giving Boxing Social some of your time. Hopefully we'll catch up in the build up to your next fight, which I'm sure will be a big one.
Yeah, nice one, thank you.